The next page talks about the start and end date. The one thing I want to note there, when you put in that start date, it cannot be prior to when we approve it. So if you're doing the IAP today on August 27th, you know, you can't say the start date was August 27th because I haven't looked at it or we haven't approved it. So from that date that you submitted on KN, you have to give us at least 15 days out before to start. So it may not take us that long to look at it, but remember, and I told the other group, I said, remember, you're not the only provider that we're looking at. We're looking at thousands of IEPs, so we just need work time for us to take a look at those IEPs and give them back to you, just in case there is a deny and approval kind of turnaround that's needed. You know, we want them as clean as possible because we don't like to go back and forth, bouncing back and forth either, because that's just time consuming.
So as soon as you have your list of approved students, I would begin contacting the parents, arranging for those pre-tests, begin developing those IEPs. Don't wait until October the 29th to submit IEPs, because then tutoring dates will be late November, and then we run into the winter recess and that kind of thing. So make sure that as soon as you have your approved list, you start working with those students.
Right. So in your mind, think about your timeline. September 13th is the last day to submit student registrations, that's right. Okay, then once we get all those in, the office needs about a week to get everybody in and verified. And then if we exceed what our funding is available, then we'll run a random placement. So that gives us about a week out. So you figure about mid-September, you'll get a list on KN for the students that have been placed with you. And then from that point on is when you can start doing your pre-test and your IEPs and start submitting those to us. The last day to submit the IEPs online is October 29th. So that means it doesn't have to be approved by October 29th. It means you need to have submitted it on the KN system by October 29th. So try and get those dates in your mind. But please don't feel that you have to hold things, you know, and wait till the very end. You know, as you do the pre-test and all of that, you start writing your IEPs. And, you know, I will be honest, it does take time, you know, to take a look at the results, what the child needs, and then what you're going to do online. It's a lot better online than having to try and handwrite a goal assessment. So a couple of things here. On the so that's on the date. The start date. On the end date, it should not be any later than April 24th. Here's the funny thing about Columbus Schools this year. I don't know if you're familiar with our calendar. In April, we go through April 15th, and then we have the following week off. That next Friday is Good Friday. You see, we usually have Good Friday in the following week, but now we get off on the 15th. The following Friday is the 22nd, which is Good Friday. And then what comes after Good Friday, that Sunday is Easter. And then we have Monday off. Then we're all back in session on that Tuesday. Okay? So we basically said you can't tutor through April 24th if you do weekends, or if you want to tutor during spring break, that's certainly acceptable too. But it's just a little bit of a difference on the calendar, because they come back on that Tuesday, then Wednesday, guess what happens? It starts the state testing. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that week they come back is when the state testing will happen for those students in 3 through 8. Okay. So that's just a little FYI on the dates there. Now if you finish before April 24th, that happens, say you just want to go up to April 1st, that's fine. But remember, it's not about beat the clock. 4 weeks, if you're done in 4 weeks, that raises a red flag for us, and we probably will deny that, because we want to see something that's reasonable to bring a child in for extra help after the school day. Twice a week, maybe on the weekend, anything like that. Weekend, we see a lot of middle school students just because they're involved in extracurricular activities, basketball or football or other things that are going on for them. So sometimes you will have to schedule on Saturday and Sunday if you want to meet, you know, the needs for some of those older students that have other things going on. We certainly don't want to, you know, make them feel like they can't participate in some of those nice things in the schools that are offered for them.